Hey guys, it's Scott from Scott and Sheds. And here I'm going to go over 16 things I wish that I knew about Norwegian Cruise Line's newest ship, the Luna. I'm going to go over some of the restaurants, some of the spaces, the stateroom, and some other gems. If you're new to our channel, I'm Scott from Scott and Sheds, and we create continuous cruise content year round. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and especially that hype feature. So let's get into it. So first up, we have the Aqua Coaster. The Aqua Coaster, if you didn't know, is a hybrid water slide roller coaster where you're going to get pushed by a metal arm 30 miles an hour into a tube where it's going to be playing rock music. It is kind of reminiscent of some of the water slide you find at amusement parks. I personally liked it. You don't get really wet at the end, but it is definitely a fun ride. Shetty and I did it, and we did it on a port day, Nassau, where a lot of people stayed on ship. Line got a little long and it broke down once or twice, but it was definitely worth the wait. So when you get a chance, definitely get on that thing. And also be sure to keep your eyes open when you're going through the tunnels because there are clear parts, and looking at that while you're at sea, best experience. So keep your eyes open, guys. Number 2, the Indulge Food Hall. How many times do you get on a cruise ship on embarkation day, you do your muster station, and then you're like, I'm hungry, and you go to the buffet? So crowded, right? And everybody's elbow to elbow. And the Indulge Food Hall, it's a great alternative. On embarkation day, it can be busy, but the service is really quick. It's a sit-down restaurant where you order off of a iPad type device, and you have a lot of restaurants to order from. The portions are a little small, but you can order as much as you want. You can also order pre-made cocktails on there, which Sheds and I did enjoy on embarkation day. Within the Indulge Food Hall, they have the Planeteer, which is a plant-based eatery serving salads, bowls, and smoothies. You can also ask for meat in place of the meat substitute. I've been told it's successful. I've been told it's no. So what's the worst that happens when you ask? Latin Quarter, that one has served Latin-inspired cuisine. Noodles, or it's spelled a little different, it offers global noodle dishes, and it is, I think it was Shedney's favorite one there. Texas Smokehouse, as the name suggests, you'll get a lot of Texas-style barbecue. Tamara, Indian classics, vegetarian options. Tapas, you guessed it, you have Spanish tapas, nice little snacks. Seaside rotisserie focused dishes. This one was my favorite one. I love the chicken. It tasted so good, so good. And the last part is the dessert menu, where you can just walk up and actually just grab a small little pudding cup or a small little cake. So number 3, the Luna has 2 main dining rooms, or MDRs for short. They are the Hudson and the Commodore. Both serve the same menu, and the only difference is the dining room atmosphere itself. The Hudson dining room offers 270-degree view windows where nearly all patrons of this main dining room can see the ocean views. This dining room has a more open feel to it with great service. You can count on from the staff. The Commodore dining room has a smaller window or porthole, which is what Shedney and I were seated next to. You can see outside of deck 6. We were met there with a smile on the Commodore, very quick service. The atmosphere in the Commodore was a bit more intimate, and you were actually closer to the person you were dining with. So keep in mind the differences between these two so you can have a better experience for your main dining room time. Number 4, Norwegian Cruise Line's drink package, free at sea, does carry over into Great Stirrup Cay. There was talks of the drink package not being honored without upgrading to the free at sea plus. However, Norwegian is no longer implementing this plan. However, cruisers will pay a VAT tax for their drinks while on the island. Shedney and I did not see a tax for every drink we ordered when we were on Great Stirrup Cay, but I think we're supposed to, so some bartenders might not have written down our room number. But don't be surprised if you see like $1.10, $1.20 per drink on that island. All right, let's get into the stateroom itself. All right, the bed is semi-firm, but it isn't a rock. The pillows are soft and you sink just enough to where you're comfortable. The room Sheds and I had wasn't the coldest, but we always bring a portable fan with us on every cruise. We weren't the only ones who had a warm room. It seemed to kind of be the norm, unfortunately. So if you have the Luna booked, invest in a portable fan for your room. You can find that on Amazon for about $20 or $30. Number 6, since Shetty and I did the first sailing from the U.S., we did a 4-day, and it was not enough. We did enjoy most of the shows. Heiko was entertaining, great special effects. Not 100% sure what the whole storyline was, but it was entertaining. Sid Norman's Presents A Tribute to the Eagles was another show that the Luna offered, and while we did enjoy it, we weren't allowed to record in there. The Luna also offered a tribute to the Elton John, which unfortunately Sheds and I did not attend due to it being offered late at night on the last night of our cruise. Number 7, the Glow Court. The Glow Court is a gaming experience where your body is actually the controller. It is included in cruise fare, and each session was about 15 minutes long. There is a waiting area where you can hang out and trash talk your opponent or opponents while you wait your turn. This is definitely a workout, so I advise being in some sort of gym attire. Shani and I did this on our last night, and it definitely had my heart pumping. And there's a huge list of games to play on there, so if you start a game and you don't like it, end it, try another one. Number 8, the Thermal Spa. Shedney and I tried this while the ship was in Nassau. We purchased the spa pass for a day for $125 on our sailing, but I heard it can be more expensive based on your sailing. There are a total of 5 hot saunas, 1 cold room, and 2 experienced showers. There's also a room with thermal loungers available where you can enjoy the warmth while staring out of the front of the ship. My favorite was the enormous hot tub with the metal lounger in there. On the other side of that area is the Vitality pool. This smaller pool was a cooler temperature, which I couldn't stay in very long after getting out of the hot tub. I don't know whether there was a difference between the extreme temperatures, but I didn't enjoy it. I went immediately back to the hot tub. And during our experience there, the cold room was a cool room. It was not very cold. I was expecting about 30 degrees. It felt more like 55, 60, maybe. Hopefully, if you guys have this pass, it is a better experience for you, but I was a little disappointed with the cold room. All right, number 9 is the Game Zone Arcade. Whether you have kids or you're a kid at heart, like yours truly, you can find something there to bring out the fun in you. There is an upcharge, and it is a pay-to-play. However, there are old-school arcade games that humbled me pretty quickly. Some of those included Popeye and the original Donkey Kong. There's also a bowling alley here. It's not a full size, it's mini bowling, but you can still experience it. How many people can say they went bowling on a brand new cruise ship? Sheds and I unfortunately didn't get a chance to participate in the bowling because every single time we tried to go there, people were already playing and there was a line. So if you see it's free, go ahead and take it, guys. Number 10, the balcony. Rarely do Sheds and I splurge on anything other than an interior room, but we decided to see what the Luna's balcony was like, and it did not disappoint. We are going back on the Luna in July with the rest of the family, so I will see if I can get us an upgrade for another balcony. But it had plenty of space out on the balcony, and it was roomy enough where it felt just enough for Sheds and I comfortably, maybe a third person in there as well. I loved that room, other than the fact that it was warmer than what I would really want it to be. Bathroom was very spacious, very nice. I have, other than the temperature, no complaints there. Number 11, infinity pools. Yes, there are infinity pools on the Luna. This is a very, very popular area of the ship, and while you might not see the chair hogs in these parts, the pool does fill up quickly. Norwegian did this knowing a huge complaint about their Prima class ships was the small pool and the small pool area. I actually found these pools to be more crowded than the main pool. And so if you want a spot in these pools, get there early. I liked how it was tucked away but easy to get to if you knew it was there. Number 12, Sukhothai Restaurant. As part of the free at sea package, we had one specialty dining voucher. We chose to use it on the Sukhothai Thai restaurant. And I can tell you, it did not disappoint. With most Thai food, all you can taste is the spice. You can't taste the actual meat itself or the main part of the dish. Myself, I do love spicy foods, Shani can tell you, but I could taste more of the main dish than anything else. Shani did order the fried snapper, which she does every chance that she gets, and she absolutely loved it. I had the salt and pepper prawns for appetizer and the almond beef. Both of those, loved it. I wish I could have finished it, but I filled up on Shedney's spring rolls and the prawns before going to the almond beef. One thing that did surprise me was that peanut sauce. It tasted amazing with that chicken satay. And Shedney did let me taste her mango sticky rice for dessert, and I wish I could have eaten more because it tasted so good. So try that one if you go to Sukhothai. Number 13, Swirl Wine Bar. This was Shedney's favorite bar on the ship. She loves wine as much as I love my whiskey. Each glass she sampled, she absolutely loved. She's a big lover of Moscato, and the bartender asked Shedney what she liked, what she didn't like, and had her set up within 60 seconds with an excellent choice every time. One experience with Swirls is a virtual reality wine tasting. You will put on a headset and be shown the winemaking process in different countries. You'll take the headset off and sample the different wines. This experience does cost extra though. We were quoted $45 on our sailing. I heard rumors that on other sailings it was a little bit cheaper at $40, so just be wary the prices might fluctuate up and down. With the lighting and design of this lounge, is an absolute must for anybody who enjoys a glass of wine. Number 14, the whiskey bar. Right on the other side of Swirls is the whiskey bar. As a whiskey man, I love this bar and lounge. Every whiskey you can think of is here. They do have a few pre-made cocktails, which I still don't know how to think about it because I like seeing my drink being made in front of me. Some of those were the spiked whiskey and the Sunny Monk. I tried both these. I enjoyed them. I was taken back a bit when I saw the bartender take the drink from a mini mason jar and shake it with ice and pour it into a nice whiskey glass for me. Wasn't expecting that. My favorite drink by far was the Jackhammer, which is a variation on a Manhattan. I also did love that this whiskey bar was literally right next door to the Commodore main dining room and became a spot for meeting new friends in the evening time. Number 15, Metropolitan Bar. If the Commodore main dining room had the whiskey bar, the Hudson main dining room had Metropolitan Bar. This bar had a unique section within their menu. This bar had a unique menu under the Sail and Sustain section. My favorite from this bar was the Banana Roma. It was sweet but not too sweet, and the banana peel syrup made it taste like I was eating banana bread. It was pure deliciousness. Now, I will say that you can try to order that same drink on different bars of the ship. It is not the same. It is not the same. The Banana Roma from Metropolitan, that is chef's kiss. And number 16 was the drop slide. Now, there are drop slides all over every cruise line, but this one is a dry slide. You get set up in this blanket looking thing and then you're enclosed in this capsule. The floor drops and you will plummet down and loop around and around, eventually stopping right by the 24-hour pub. When I went on it, I was laughing so loud that I received a standing ovation from the audience outside of the restaurant. This is a lot quicker than the elevator, if you ask me. It was a bit more fun too. Well guys, these are the 16 things that you probably should know about Norwegian Cruise Line's Luna ship before you board. I enjoyed all of these, And hopefully you learned something too. If you have sailed the Luna, comment down below. Do you agree with my list? Do you disagree? Let me know. Sheds and I, we're going to be going back on this ship in July, so look out for that series as well. Until then, happy cruising, guys.